This is the south side of the house. I'm making a video to show that my footer on this side is bigger than the plan calls for, in case I ever have to add on. This footer right here, this lower footer, where that blue ladder is, you can reference the plan and it's only called out as 24 inches, but I'm going to go down with the camera and show you that I made it at 32 inches. So this L footer right here, I'll show you that I made it at 32 inches. So this is the inside of the footer. I made it at 32 inches. I'm just going to show you the rest of the footers so you can see the entire project. So I have this footer right here, right up against the door. The slab is going to sit on top of that because that's where my stair walls are going. I got my little chutes down there because the concrete truck's not going to be able to shoot that far. Then we'll have to wheelbarrow the rest of this in. I've stepped this interior footer down to the other footer so it has extra support. I did it right here too. I don't know if you saw that. Right there, goes all the way down. I do have rebar in this one too. You can see that. I'm coming all the way down this side. Got my 32-inch footer right here as per plan. This has already been inspected by the structural engineer. He's approved it, and also by the town inspector. He's also approved it, but I don't think they noticed that I made that footer wider. It's not a big deal. They don't care if it's wider, they just don't want it narrower. I just made it wider in case I ever add on right there and add extra load to the floor. So this comes around here. This is all 36 inches. This is still the south wall. Now we're going to the west wall. I've got it boxed out like it shows on the plan. It kind of thickens right there. This is the front of the garage right here. And the footer goes down to 20 inches. Because it really doesn't hold any weight because it's the garage door is right there. The only place where the weight is back where I just passed, where it's thickened, and right here in the middle. You see how it's thickened or widened, whatever you want to say. And I've also made it step down. You see my step down is bearing on the lower footer. The reason I did that is because my grade, I'm 3 feet to the bottom of the footer. What I'm saying, I just didn't want to have to dig so much, but like I say, it's already been inspected and approved by both the structural engineer and the town inspector. And this side, we're still at 20 inches. Now we widen out and we go all the way down there, 36 inches on this footer. And what you see right here, this higher rod sticking up, that's my UFER. It's for my grounding. When I put my service panel right there, I have a way to run my ground rod. And you see that copper wire? I probably didn't have to do this with the copper wire, but I had some extra copper wire, extra 4-gauge copper wire, and so I ran it, and it's probably, let me go down there so you can see how long that is. So it starts right here, and it goes clear back into here. So it's way longer than 20 feet, which I think it only has to be 20 feet. So it stops about right here. And then you see what I've done with these little hose clamps is I clamp the rebar really tight. So all this rebar acts as a continuous path for the electricity. If lightning ever hits the service entrance, it'll go right through there and make contact with the earth. So let me go back where I was. Alright, so we've already seen the Ufer, as they call it. Go all the way down here. I'm going to pour this tomorrow. And then right here we step down to 32 inches like called for on the plan. And then I've got my rebar doweled into that. You see the footer down there for the retaining wall I did a few years ago, a couple years ago. That now that my footer is resting on that one. So let's go look at these interior footers. I dug out this all out by hand right here, on this side right here. All that, I dug all that out by hand because I was worried about hitting the sewer line. I probably would have been okay if I would have got the machine in there, but I didn't know exactly where it was, so I did all that by hand. And then when I found the sewer line, I stubbed up right here. I stubbed up right there, so then I'll connect my sewer in the house to that. Okay, here's these interior footers I was talking about. Then this one goes all the way over here, gets deeper, and it rests on that footer for the retaining wall right there. I figured I had it, so I might as well go down deeper right there. So between these two footers, that's the stairs. You'll walk up the stairs and then turn and go up to the upper living space. So here's this other footer. And then this last, you probably already saw this one, but there it is. It steps down on the, falls down to that other footer and catches it. And then I have another set of stairs that come from inside the house, right there where the existing door is, and then they go up. So I have two sets of stairs here. And I've been working on this since probably the second week in March. It's now like the second week in May, so all this digging and the forming, the rebar, all this has taken me 2 months off and on. So now I'm finally at the point where I'm going to pour concrete.